Hello, hello, hello. You're never gonna believe what I got in the mail today. The new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette. You guys, when I saw this teased on Instagram, I like reposted it on my Instagram stories because I was so excited about this. I was not expecting to receive it in PR so soon, but here we are. I'm clearly gonna be doing some looks with this. I decided like I can't do just one look. I'm gonna be doing 3 looks using this palette because I feel like I already have so many ideas. This is an extension of her I Need a Nude line, which originally launched with lip products. It's beautiful. Like she has every nude lipstick and lip liner you could ever imagine. But this palette, you guys, look at the packaging and then look at the inside. If this doesn't scream timeless bridal, I don't know what does. Don't you want to take a bite out of this palette? I'm obsessed. I have dipped into them because I did some swatches. First of all, before I touched the palette, I did some little behind the scenes footage, which I'll have right here in the sunlight so you can really see how magical this is. I felt like studio light was not going to capture it the way I wanted to. And I also swatched this on my arm, but I have not yet put them on my eyes. So that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm going to be creating 3 looks with this. Let's just get right into it. Look number 1 is going to be something that's just great for every day. By the way, this is available at Sephora, ULTA, on their website. This is $69, so it's her typical $69 palette. It's got 15 shades in it. There's a new wet effect formula with 2 glistening finishes, glossy and sparkling. They're buttery smooth. I mean, at this point, we already know, like, Natasha Denona formulas are so good. So this is going to be more tutorial focused. I will, of course, let you know if there is something that feels, you know, inconsistent with this palette as far as formula goes. I'm not anticipating that, but I will let you know if I discover anything. I'm going to take off the protective layer on the mirror. Let's get right into it. I mean, these colors are insane. They're so approachable, so beautiful, timeless. I'm thrilled. I'm going to start off with the shade, I was gonna go for Stone, but I think I'm gonna hop over to Mesh actually. And I'm gonna start by using this in the crease as my transition shade. If you want to know what else is on my face throughout this video, I will have them linked down below. I just wanted to make sure this video focused on the eyes since I'm doing 3 looks. I'm also gonna take Mesh and go along the lower lash line a bit with that. Now I'm gonna dip into Stone and I'm gonna add a little bit of definition on the outer edge. But again, since this is an everyday look, I'm not gonna go too crazy with the matte colors. I just want a bit of definition, something really soft and gentle. I was immediately gravitated toward the shade Mia, which is like a light icy pink sparkle. You guys know me and my sparkles for every day, okay? I felt like this would be a perfect little addition to this very wearable, easy look. Literally 3 shades. The glitters in here are so fine. They're so beautiful, very ethereal. I actually did want to show you guys side by side the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes versus this. You're going to get a very similar vibe, you know? Obviously you get more shades with this one, but similar vibe. So like if you've been wanting this color story and didn't get a chance to grab it, I feel like the Natasha Denona one will be a good second option. This feels so simple, but to me, it's a perfect everyday look, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off this look with some mascara. This is actually the Black Brown mascara from Thrive Cosmetics. I feel like a brown mascara just adds a little more of like a softness to the look, which is great for every day. For lips, I'm gonna take the Rimmel Cappuccino lip liner and just kind of blur that into the lips. And then I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of the Fenty Fussy lip gloss, which is just the perfect everyday gloss. I know that was like literally 2 minutes, but here's the first look. So easy to do. Only 3 shadows. Honestly, you could probably just use 2 shadows, just one of the mattes with that topper and you'd be good to go. But this gives like everyday on the go ballerina vibes. Okay, that's what we're going for. Just a classic, timeless, easy, effortless look. So here we go. Here is look number 1. We're gonna move on to look number 2, which is gonna be a little more special. We're gonna have a little more with this one. So let's get into it. All right, for look number 2, we're gonna play into some of these pink matte colors a little bit more. So we're gonna start off with this bottom shade right here called Wit. This is more of like a peachy pink, and I really wanna see what the palette is capable of with this shade specifically, because so many of these are like gorgeous neutral taupes, but we do have that pop of warmth. So I really wanna see how something like this will work. So this is going to be kind of an in-between occasion inspired look. The first look being very everyday appropriate. This one's going to be like maybe you've got some sort of event like a wedding guest, for example. And then the third look, we're going to really amp it up for like an evening smoky eye situation to really see what this palette is capable of. So just buffing this out as my transition shade, moving it into the brow area a little bit as well, just for like a super watercolor-esque kind of a vibe. I'm gonna take that same exact color and pinch the brush and just go across the entire lower lash line with this as well, just to start to build out a little bit of structure. That's a gorgeous peachy pink shade. It's really nice. I'm loving that. We're gonna go into the shade Vague next, which is kind of like a taupey blush. We're gonna use this to add a little bit more dimension, but again, trying to stick to more of a rosy theme. Adding this to the outer edge of the eye, buffing it into the crease with whatever is left on the brush. Keep in mind, you guys, I would normally do my eyes first, especially when working with, you know, more sparkly pigments and things like that, but for the sake of this video, trying to keep things simple. So I'm just removing my eye makeup and redoing that. But it's always a good, you know, rule of thumb when working with glitters to do your eyes first so that you can kind of control the amount of fallout underneath the eyes. All right, we're gonna play with this middle color right here called Muse. This is like a gorgeous taupey bronze color. It's super foiled. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm just patting this color in the center of the lid as kind of like our focal point. There's not really much of a pink shimmer besides the shade Mia, which we used in the other look, but I honestly think that this kind of molten glitter shadow works really well with the pinks. Wow, oh my gosh, this formula is so beautiful. It sticks to the lid gorgeously without like a glitter glue, and just look at the reflect. That's so stunning. Next, I'm going to dip into the shade Sheen, which is kind of like this champagne topper color. We're going to go into the inner corner with this, just to add a little more sparkle into that area without overpowering the center lid color that we have going on. Next, I'm going to take the shade Whisper on more of a flat brush and just kind of use this to brighten up the inner portion of the lower lash line. I feel like I could add more here if I really wanted to, but then there's also power and simplicity. So I'm just adding a little bit more of those pink colors with whatever's on the brush, kind of fanning it out and up a little bit more. I'm kind of wanting to add a little bit more of a freshness to the look. So I'm gonna add a nude liner to the waterline, just for that little added, freshness to this look. And then we're gonna pop on some mascara. This time I am opting for a black mascara. If you're following along, you can use whatever your favorite is. This one is the Lancome Lash Idole, just for like more of a fluttery lash. Something in between, like not too much volume. I just want things to look kind of like fluffy and approachable with this look. I am popping a bit of mascara on the lower lashes as well. For lips, I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty lip liner in the shade Worthy. This has a little bit of that like pinky, peachy undertone, which I thought would match so beautifully with those matte shades on the eyes. And then I kind of want like a almost milky effect to the lips. So I'm gonna go in with the Patrick Ta Major Volume Plumping Gloss in the shade Pouty. This has like a slight pink tint to it and also very fine glitter reflex, but I just feel like over top of a lip liner like this, it'll just give that perfect glass slipper effect to the lips. I'm obsessed with this look. Oh my gosh, it's like the perfect in between. You could wear this out for sure. Or honestly, like I would feel confident wearing it during the day. It's kind of like that perfect in between, like day to night kind of a look. A little more on the eyes, but not so distracting to where it's like, it's nothing crazy. Still very, very ethereal, magical, gorgeous, honestly. So here's look number 2, leaning a little bit more pink. Look number 3 is gonna be really fun. We're gonna really go for it with more of the bold, smoky colors in the palette because there's a lot of those in here as well. I feel like the palette's very versatile that way. But yeah, here's look number 2. I hope you guys love this one as much as I do. All right, for look number 3, we're gonna have a little bit more fun. We're gonna start off with Mesh again, which is like kind of the lightest taupey transition shade of the palette. I'm gonna start here to create a little bit of groundwork. for more of a smoky eye. So I'm just gonna throw this into the crease and a little bit above to kind of start to shape out that transition area. And then I'm also dragging that across the lower lash line a bit as well, just to start to block out the shape of the eye. Next up, I'm going to take the shade Tender, which is like a little bit more of a deeper taupe color. I like to work lightest to darkest when it comes to a smoky eye, because it's always easier to add more dimension versus trying to lighten up something that's too dark. So I'm adding this on the outer edge of the eye, moving it up into the crease once there's less on the brush. That just kind of helps not make it too muddy up toward the brow. If you focus most of the product by the lash line and then move what's left up and out. So this shade, once applied, actually kind of deepens a little bit more than what it looks like initially in the pan. Gorgeous color, just something to kind of note if you're following along. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of a small, precise brush and start to just smudge this against the lash line on that lower lash line. Again, typically with a smoky eye specifically, I would be doing my eyes first, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna start working with some of these shimmer shades, and then we're gonna move back into some mattes. So I'm gonna take the shade Ella right here, just like this gorgeous taupey bronze. I'm gonna start creating a little bit of depth with metallics on like the outer center portion of the eyelid using this color. I'm actually layering up the kind of bronzy shade with my fingertip called Filigree right here, kind of over top of that Ella shade. I normally keep mattes on the outside, but I kind of like how it looks having a bit of that metallic color layered on top of the matte on the outer edge of the eye. I think that looks pretty. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Delilah, which has a little bit more of like glitter chunks in it. And I'm gonna take this on the inner portion of the eye and then just start dragging it toward the center. It's so pretty. This has such microfine reflex in it. This shade formula is the same as Sheen and Mia, where it just has very, very, very small glitter particles in there, which I think is beautiful. I'm using a clean brush to just clean up this inner corner a bit. I'm continuing to smoke out the lower lash line using the shade Ella close to the lashes, just for a little bit more depth. Then I'm going to take an angled liner brush and I'm going to dip into the deepest matte shade in the palette called Silhouette. I'm actually going to take a little bit of setting spray and just spray my brush with this to create a little bit of a shadow liner on the top lid. So I'm just going to smudge a bit of that color into the lash line, focusing on the outer third. I'm winging it out slightly, just barely, but it's really soft since it's just an eyeshadow. I'm going to take what's left and just get the very outer corner of that lower lash line, connecting it to the wing on the top lash. All right, I'm gonna clean up some of these edges with the shade Fair, which is like a matte, kind of peachy bone color. I'm gonna start sweeping this toward the brow a little bit, just to smooth things out, blend in the edges a little. I actually think I could use a little hint of that pink, just to like warm things up a little bit. So I'm gonna take the shade Wit, just like that lighter peachy pink, and I'm just gonna lightly kind of throw that into the transition area, just like that. Maybe a little bit along the lower lash line as well. I thought it would be really pretty to add Mia, which is the kind of icy pink color. I really want to see what that would look like as an inner corner highlight. So I'm taking that on a brush and just kind of pressing it into the inner corner of the eye. I'm also dragging it up a little bit in the inner crease. Scoopity boopity. Now we need mascara. I'm gonna take my Anastasia Lash Sculpt Mascara, and I'm gonna really layer up the mascara today for this last look, since this is more of like an evening going out situation. So I applied mascara to the top lashes. Before I go any further, I kind of wanted to add a little bit of like a light brown to the waterline. So I'm gonna take this. I normally use this as a lip liner. This is a Make It Forever Artist Pencil, and it's in the shade Endless Cacao. I just want like a little bit of something in the waterline without being like super tight lined. And I feel like something like this adds that hint of extra dimension without being too much. So threw that in the waterline, and then now we'll do that same mascara on the lower lashes. I'm just cleaning up a little bit of that fallout with my sponge that has a little bit of concealer on it. Again, this is why I would probably do my eyes first, just to make sure the lines were really clean. I'm gonna play off the taupe colors on the eyes using that same exact Endless Cacao pencil. Then I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona Natasha lipstick. This is her Dream lipstick from the My Dream collection. I'm gonna apply that in the middle and use my finger to tap that out. I was planning on doing a gloss, but I actually really like more of a cream finish to the lips with this eye look. I do feel like it needs a little something. So I'm gonna take my Ardell 420 lashes and I'm gonna cut one of them in half and then use them as half lashes. I'm just applying that with my Duo Clear Lash Glue. Since this is the final look, I'm just kind of touching up the brows a bit, assessing the situation and adding a little bit more blush. Today's blush is the cream blush from this cheek trio from Natasha Denona. I'm setting the brows with a bit of brow gel and of course adding a little bit more bronzer since this is more of like an evening look. And we'll add a little bit of the cream highlighter from that same trio just at the high points of the face. I'm really excited about this palette. I think it's gorgeous. It lived up to my personal expectations, especially with some of these really gorgeous molten textures like this one right here. The shade Muse is insane. I love all the different like ethereal textures because you can really take it from day to night. You have every matte neutral color you could ever dream of. Honestly, you could make an entire matte eye look with this and it would be stunning. Maybe I should try that next. I don't know. Let me know. I mean, guys, it has my stamp of approval. I already am somebody who loves Natasha Denona palettes. I think she's so inspiring and she gives us what we want, you know? Like everyone always says that they're sick and tired of neutrals, but then this sells out. Like I saw that it was sold out at Sephora, like at least right now it is, which just shows you what we really want. You know what I mean? As much as the other palettes are so fun and color is so fun, at the end of the day, we all reach for these types of tones. So 10 out of 10 for me. This is beautiful. The textures are gorgeous. If you get a chance to swatch it in stores, you should. If you've been thinking about getting it and you want to spend 70 bucks on a palette, I do not think you'd be disappointed. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this palette and if you're gonna pick it up or not. And yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you.